Hola y bienvenido. Hello and welcome to my very first Spanish lesson, and over the next upcoming weeks I'll be teaching you all of the Spanish you need to succeed in a Spanish speaking country. Hopefully. I don't know if I'll be good or not, but we will try. Now this is my first lesson, so without further ado, let's get started. Today we are going to be learning the personal pronouns in Spanish. So what are they in English? Well, there are a few in English. So they are I, you, he, she, it, we and they. So what are they in Spanish? Well, there are loads more in Spanish, unfortunately, so you're going to have to learn them a lot. But let's get started. So what are they in Spanish? Well, we've got yo, which is I, so yo. Now, there are several words for you in Spanish. One of them is tú, like that, with an accent on it. And I will go through the other words for you a bit later on, but let's continue anyway. Okay, I'm going to group three other pronouns together. I'm going to group he, she, and the other word for you. So, él, ella, usted. Él is he, ella is she, and usted is another word for you. The reason why I group them like that is because they have the same conjugations. When you put them in a tense, they are conjugated the same way. So, él, he, ella, she, usted, you. But I'm going to tell you the difference between all the words for you when I finish the personal pronoun list. Okay, so let's continue. The word for we, there are two words for we. It's nosotros and nosotras. So what's the difference between nosotros and nosotras? Well, nosotros is for us, the boys, or us, the boys and the girls. Whereas if you use nosotras, that means us, all the girls. So we, the girls, you'd use nosotras. Okay, the next word, which is another word for you, is vosotros and vosotras. Okay, and finally, I'm going to group these three together as have the same conjugations. It's ellos, ellas, ustedes. They and you. Ellos and ellas mean they, and ustedes is another word for you. Use ellos for a group of male people, or a mixture, a group of male and a group of female people. You use ellas just for a group of female people. So what's the difference between tú, usted, vosotros, vosotras, and ustedes? Well, tú is used for one person, for someone you know well, for a friend, for example. Or maybe a family member, you'd use tú, but for one person, informally. Usted is used for someone you don't know well. For example, if you go into a shop, you'd use usted, but this as well is only used for one person. Vosotros, vosotras is used informally for someone you know well, but for a group of people. You use vosotros for a group of male people, or a mixture, a group of male and a group of female people. That's who you're talking to. So say if I'm talking to a group of male people, I'd use vosotros. If I'm talking to a group of male and a group of female people, I'd still use vosotros. But if I'm talking to a group of female people informally, I'd use vosotras. So ustedes is used for people you don't know well, but a group of people. So a group of people formally is the better way to put it. But be careful, because vosotros and vosotras is only used in Spain. If you are elsewhere in another Spanish-speaking country and you'd like to talk to a group of people informally, then you'd have to use ustedes, as you won't be able to use vosotros. I mean, you can do, but it's mainly used in Spain. So those are all the personal pronouns in Spanish. I'll go through them again. yo, I, tú, you, singular informal, él, he, ella, she, usted, you, singular formal, nosotros, us the boys, or us the boys and the girls, nosotras, us the girls, vosotros, you the boys, or you the boys and the girls, plural informal, vosotras, you all the girls, plural informal,
ellos,
they,
ellas,
they, ustedes, you, plural informal. So I was getting confused then. It's a plural formal for usted. Okay, so now let's come up with some sentences using these personal pronouns. So, let's come up with the sentence. Yo hablo muy bien español. So that's the sentence. We've got the personal pronoun yo, and then the verb hablo, which comes from hablar, to speak. Muy bien español. I speak very well. I speak Spanish very well, I should say. So yo hablo muy bien español. I speak Spanish very well. Okay, let's come up with another sentence. Tú eres mi mejor amigo. Tú eres mi mejor amigo. That means you are my best friend. We've got the subject pronoun tú, which means you, and that means I'm speaking to one person informally. And then we've got the verb eres, which comes from ser, it's one of the verbs to be. And then we've got mi mejor amigo, my best male friend, or mi mejor amiga, if it's a female friend. So here is one final sentence. Nosotros vamos a la escuela. Nosotros vamos a la escuela. We are going to school. See, we've got the subject pronoun, nosotros, which means we. We've got the verb vamos, which is from ir, to go, and a la escuela, to school. Okay, now a few points to point out for subject pronouns. They are optional. You can choose whether to use a subject pronoun or not. They are mainly used for expressing who does the action, to put stress on it, who's doing the action. But unlike English, pronouns, subject pronouns in Spanish are optional. If the person who you are speaking to doesn't know who you are talking about, then it's better to use the subject pronoun. For example, if I want to say, he's going shopping, and the person I'm talking to doesn't know who I'm talking about, then you're better off using the subject pronoun, because it could be, you are going shopping, because as I said before, it's used in the same conjugations, he, she, and you, usted, you. So that's a point I need to make out. They are optional. So let's take our first example. Yo hablo muy bien en español. I could just say, hablo muy bien en español. That still means I speak very well in Spanish. Tú eres mi mejor amigo. I could just say, eres mi mejor amigo. You are my best friend. It still means the same thing. So in Spanish, personal pronouns are optional. Okay, so that concludes my lesson 1. Hopefully, I taught you quite a bit. Please comment and have any suggestions for any other requests for any other videos, any other lessons, and I will see you very, very soon for another Spanish lesson. Thanks for listening. Hasta luego.